What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about Syfe, and it's a portfolio update video and also an introductory session to two new portfolios that they have at Syfe, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I don't know why I'm so awkward. I guess it's been a while since I filmed a video, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so Syfe has two new portfolios, and we're gonna get right into that after I give you an update on what's going on with my portfolio. So let's have a look here. Yeah, so as you can see, I have two portfolios right now in Syfe, and I have a cash plus portfolio and a core equity 100 portfolio. And just the update is that whenever I top up money into Syfe as part of being a Malaysian, I like to make every single ringgit, every single dollar count. So I've only transferred once to date, and instead of like just transferring one sum into equity 100, I want to adopt the dollar cost averaging approach, which is to invest the same amount every single month into my portfolio. And Cash Plus helps me to do that because it allows me to set up recurring transfers. So as I click on that, I can show you that I have a recurring transfer set up. It says here $1,000 every single month, and the transfer date is on the 22nd. So that is active, and oops, I think I can show you yes, the composition of the fund, and I've been getting rebates, and I have 4,000 in there right now, and the portfolio return is $26. So what's happening in my core equity 100 is that I have a 4,300 market value in my portfolio. I have generated $275 in portfolio returns, and it's giving me a time-weighted return of 10.26%. So that is all good and interesting, but because I am interested in this particular portfolio, this one is called the custom portfolio. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The custom portfolios by Syfe. I'm excited about them because as part of investing with a robo-advisor platform, you tend to have a lot of control taken away from you, and this is something that puts back control within our hands as investors with these platforms. So I'm quite excited to see that Syfe is adopting this approach to not just giving us thematic-based investing, but they're also giving us customization as a feature in the new portfolios they offer. So these two portfolios, I guess like I've mentioned it very briefly, it's called Syfe Select Thematic or Syfe Select Themes and Syfe Select Custom. I am more interested in the Syfe Select Custom portfolios because it's going to be allowing me the type of investing that I personally like to do, which is to invest regardless of what's happening with these ETFs. Like what my game plan is to select just 3 or 2 ETFs that I personally believe will do well in the long term, and I want to dollar cost average into them every single month. Yeah, so I want to just invest in them regardless of how well they are doing or not doing. And yeah, like sometimes robo-advisor platforms like to sell out things that are perhaps not gonna do well within this particular quarter, and I don't really agree with that, and that's why I really like this customization feature. And I think it's interesting because it's giving us a take on what it's really like to invest as a stock picker or like a person who manages their own portfolio. But the feature with investing with robo-advisors is that they can buy into fractional shares of these ETFs, whereas like if we were just investing as normal investors, for most platforms, most brokerages, you don't have fractional shares that you can buy into. So this is super advantageous, and I want to see what it's really like. But yes, I cannot really review what it's really like until it's performed for at least a couple of months, a year, more than that, and then we can really judge it by its performance. So first off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disrupt my recurring transfer because I got not enough money in there to split between the two portfolios if I continue that 1,000 a month transfers. And it says here recurring transfer. I can pause that recurring transfer. Ooh, I can edit that recurring transfer. I think that's better. And I'm gonna edit it to only take 500 from that Cash Plus portfolio. And okay, yeah, as simple as that, the recurring transfer is done. So I'm gonna set up a new transfer so I can unlock that feature of, this dream basket of Syfe Select Custom, and I'm gonna put in 500 a month. So there is this entire process where you are going to be able to select which ETFs that you want to have in your portfolio and also the percentage weightage of each as well, which I will show you a little bit later. But yeah, I highly recommend that if you want to use Syfe Select Custom, you do a little bit more research. A little bit is an understatement. You do a lot more research as to why you want to have those ETFs in your portfolio and at what weightage. And it's very empowering because you get to discover a little bit more, interact a bit more with your investments and to understand what you're getting yourself into, and always know the risk and match it to your risk portfolio. So that's quite cool. And let's say the start date is the 4th of September. Okay, yep, that looks good. And we can confirm that. Okay, yeah, so I'm actually very interested to see how they buy into it and how it will perform over time. Yeah, so I guess what I can do right now is show you what you're gonna see when you open up Syfe Select as a new portfolio and how the user experience kind of flows. So yeah, let's get into that. Okay, so here we are on Syfe's web browser, and the only reason I'm using this is because it hasn't launched yet at the time that I am viewing this, so I'm accessing it using a special link. So as you can see here, when we click Add New, we can look at all the different Syfe portfolios that are available, and you can see this bright and shiny new tab here on Syfe Select. So as I said before, there are two new portfolios. There is a thematic type select portfolio that allows you to invest in mega trends. So this is actually a satellite portfolio under your core portfolio. So what that means is your core portfolio will be the majority bulk of what your holdings are, and then they'll add a supplementary thematic portfolio on whatever you choose. So this would be a smaller allocation of your portfolio, and if you're interested, you can check that out. It is pretty interesting. But today what I want to show you is the custom site for those of you who are interested to get down and dirty and know what you want to invest in specifically. So let's click learn more. And as usual, they always say that it's personal and they are regulated by Monetary Authority of Singapore. Oh, I pronounced that pretty badly. And then let's go to select. So here they walk you through the easy steps that we go through in selecting our portfolio, getting it ready. We pick our ETFs, and this is out of a selection of 100 curated ETFs that they will allow us to choose from, and then we define the allocation, meaning we put a percentage to each ETF that we are investing into, and it must equal to 100%. And then we begin investing. So here we can see all of the different ETFs, and they categorize it into different tabs here of categories: trending, recommended, top performers, bottom performers. And obviously we can click it if you really want to see what's trending. And there and behold, trendy ETFs are the ARK ETFs, and then you can see different ETFs that you may not be familiar with. I definitely am not familiar with every single ETF, so it's actually quite interesting to go through all of this. A way to do that is to click view all and to actually do the filtering by what you are actually interested in. Are you only interested in equities? Do you have a particular risk portfolio that you want to, a risk profile that you want to stick to? So mine is particularly high or very high. Can I check both? Yep. A geography profile that you want to stick to, or a sector that you want to be a part of. So you can just click that and then it will filter for you, and you can obviously sort even further. So this is pretty cool. Past returns, you want to sort from high to low, and risk, yeah, you can do all of this sorting. So here we see what results actually add up, and as you can see at the side here, you can only add up to 8 different ETFs within your Syfe Select Custom portfolio, and I think that is a good thing. You don't want to put your money in too many different ETFs within your portfolio, because you'll just end up with something similar to what you have in the core portfolios itself. So you want it to be different enough for it to be a standalone portfolio, but that's just my personal opinion. It's really up to you on what you decide. So we can see through the sorting on the past 3 years return, and they give pretty good indication as to what they are about. But really what I like is that when you click them, they actually give you more details. Okay, so what you can see are the top 5 companies that are held within these ETFs itself. You get the sector breakdowns. You can even get the historical performance of the particular ETF itself, and this is in percentage terms. It's not in price. So yeah, all of these information that you can normally find through Google, which I do recommend you to Google as much as you can about these ETFs that you are interested in selecting for your portfolio selection. Do more research into them before adding them into your portfolio, which you can just do by like clicking add right there, then that's in. And let's go back to view all. And again, there are just so many different ETFs that you can choose from. But like what I said earlier, I'm actually quite interested in general market ETFs, so this could be a good one for me to look at. Or let's go even more general and look at something like the S&P 500, but should I search for it? Yeah, you can even search for it over here. So I think I mentioned this before. CSPX is the S&P 500 ETF, but domiciled in Ireland. And let's go ahead and add that to our portfolio. And as you can see, these are the top companies that they hold within the ETF itself. And whenever you want to go to your portfolio, you just go view portfolio. And as you can see, I added these 2 earlier, but you can remove, you can actually change the allocation. You can put 20% that, and then you can put 80% that. So it works out to 100%. And once you're ready, you can confirm your portfolio, or if you're still not happy with that, you can remove. And then you're left with that again, and then you go back to adding more investments. You have the option actually to just invest in one ETF if that is what you want. But again, there is just quite a lot of decision making on our part as investors. So whenever we want to do something so customizable, we need to have a strategy and a reason for why we are doing this, a game plan, if you will. So yeah, let's just say I just wanted that alone, and we go ahead and put that at 100%. and we confirm that portfolio, they're going to tell you that you are going to create a portfolio that is a higher risk than your current profile is. So you need to really acknowledge what you are doing here due to the customization, right? So if you're okay with that, you can proceed. If not, you can go back. Here's where you can actually rename your portfolio. This is my choice, right? And then let's say you want to start off with 100 Sing dollars or 500 Sing dollars. It's really up to you, and you can generate this portfolio. And I hear you can actually generate as many portfolios as you want. So they're going to ask you to transfer it into their transfer the money into this particular portfolio to get it started. And here are all the ways that you can do that. You can do Pay Now, you can do fast or gyro, a wire transfer, or an online remittance. And this goes to Singapore. Or you can actually set up a recurring transfer like how I showed you earlier through my Cash Plus portfolio. So yeah, there you have it. These two new portfolios for us to explore, and I hope you have fun checking it out. Okay, I guess we've come to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was insightful. If you didn't know that Syfe was releasing these portfolios, do check them out because they are quite interesting, especially if you are someone who likes more control or more oomph in your court. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying today, but anyway, have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.